if you have a desire and you want to learn it and you're like, this is going to make my craft, it's going to make, go for it, learn it. But there's so many people that can help us in our day and age that you don't want to let somebody's criticism or critique stop you from moving forward. It's like when I go to make a movie, I don't have to learn how to edit. I don't have to know how to do the lighting. I don't have to figure out how the camera works. I hire people to do all that. And then I write the script. Maybe I produce it. Maybe I even act in it. But I don't have to know every single thing that goes into it. I have somebody do the grammar. I have somebody fix my sentence structure. I have somebody format the book. So we don't have to do everything. So don't be afraid when you're putting your book out to get the extra help you need. You are worthy of it.
You are now listening to the podcast where authors inspire listeners to become authors, the Going North Podcast. I'm your host, certified self-leadership trainer, best-selling author, and book enthusiast Dom Brightman. And you're going to be listening to a different author that will inspire you to join the business of immortality, known as authorship. Now let the fun begin. New episode, new review to highlight, and this one is a 5-star review from the Hobby Hustler, and they said Mondays and Thursdays equal my favorite day. And they wrote, quote, Mondays and Thursdays are my favorite days of the week thanks to the Going North podcast, and great for inspiration and motivation on the many different life experiences. Keep up the great work. Thanks a bunch for leaving that review and letting us know what you like about the podcast, indeed. And the good news is, usually every Monday, Thursday, and Saturday, you can find a new episode. And if not, for some strange reason, we got a whole boatload of content for you to check out, like a library book. And speaking of library books, let's get on with today's episode with an author who's got a great book for you to read after hearing their wonderful story. And today on the Highlight Reel Builder for Authors, known as the Going North podcast, we got another super special, awesome human for you today, courtesy of a fabulous website known as podcastguest.com, a wonderful site where aspiring podcast guests can have a one sheet of themselves and all their freaking accomplishments put out for the world to see, or as a podcast host, have your show blast out to thousands upon thousands of emails out there, and folks can shoot their shot and hopefully get a chance. And we got a guest that made it through the miry clay. She's a needle in the haystack of over 300 freaking replies when my podcast was shouted out, because you're going to be in for a treat that's good enough to eat 5 times over, y'all, because she is a best-selling author, folks, who is a lovely mom of 2, as well as a lovely wife, award-winning actress, writer, producer, poet, filmmaker, and faith-based life coach. So you heard that right, folks. Not only is she wonderful, all of those things, she's also a child of the king. So she's got 3 cherries on top, y'all. So let's give it up for the kind and noteworthy Katherine Norland. How you doing today, Kat?
I feel like I should be entering a boxing ring with like gloves on the way you announce me. I'm like, where's the guy to give me a rub down on my shoulders and put my mouthpiece in? You're like ready to go after that introduction.
Hey, well, that's usually the best part of the show before the rabbit holes show up.
Yeah, you've already let me in on some of your quirks, so no telling where this is gonna go.
So you already know about my trap doors. This is good.
Yeah. Question is gonna always be red pill or blue pill, right?
Oh, don't worry. We're past the good old wonderful 20th century to 21st century. Now there's a purple pill. We got 3 options.
Okay. Love it.
You get to swallow all 3. And it's like, oh God, I'm half in the Matrix, half not the Matrix.
Wow. It's a great analogy there. Going
Well,
in between both.
There you go. Some days you're the white side, some days you're the black side, the yin yang symbol, metaphorically.
There you go.
But hey, it ain't just about yin yang symbols and matrices because the thing is, introductions aren't allowed to be 73 years long, and it probably only covered, I don't know, 7 days of what makes Catherine the special K that she is. So, am I filling in any cavities I missed about you?
I mean, there's always more than what can fit in a paragraph bio, isn't there?
Oh, so I got all of it?
But I have to say, you are the second person in my life who calls me Special K.
Oh, is your husband the
One other,
first then?
only one other person gives me that nickname, so you're right up there.
Oh, well, there we go. I'll take silver. Just don't put me with 29 other pieces, though.
Won't do it. You're second place. You're second place all the way.
So my goodness, as with everything. So did you see yourself being the way you are today at the age of 13, being able to be 50 and fabulous with all these wonderful awards for all your acting prowess and writing all these books and
Ah,
helping folks to
I see you've been checking the Googling me because all over the webs it says I'm 50 and I'm not yet. But I'm like, if they could lie about my age, they could have lied younger. But
okay,
it's
5 years
okay.
old. I'm dyslexic.
No. It's even but I'm like, it's so crazy because I reached a certain level where I started having people that I've never met write articles about me. And sometimes I just get a kick out of reading them. I'm like, oh, look at this. It just makes up all these things about you. And and just sometimes I get a kick out of reading them. I'm like, yeah. They say you're a different age. They say you have more kids than you do. They tell you where you went to college, even though you never went. And they just make up all these fabulous things, and it's fun to read sometimes. But I will take the fabulous part. Can I be in my 40s and fabulous? Does that count still?
I mean, sure. Age is just a number, as they say. And besides, a lot of
True.
40-year-old
It's
chicks are
true.
looking
It's
better than some 30 and 20-year-olds these days.
oh, ouch. It's you know what? A lot of it's your outlook on life. That makes that makes a big difference. I take a happy 40-year-old over a grumpy 20-year-old any day, right?
Amen to that. That's
Outlook
right
has a lot
indeed.
to do with it for sure. But no, I know everyone likes to say age is just a number, and it really is, except when you're an actress. Then it's like it's this big mysterious thing. When I was in acting school, when I first moved here, my acting coach he said, whenever they ask you your age, just tell them whatever age you think I am is fine with me. So that's like my answer these days. Whether you think I'm 55 or 45 or 35, whatever age you think I am is fine with me. So that's what my acting coach always taught me to say. It's so funny though. The internet will just, when you reach a certain point, they just put it all out there anyway. So it doesn't really matter. You're right. It's a big deal about a little thing.
Wow. But hey, heard you made a big impact in 5 years, if I'm not mistaken. What was it? Prison ministry for 5 years, if I'm not mistaken, right?
I did do that. That part's true. It's always interesting because you really don't know what kind of an impact you made. So every Sunday for 5 years, I would go into the local county jail. We didn't really have prisons in my little small town of 9,000, but we had a local jail, and it was always filled. And every Sunday for 5 years, I went there and we did a church service for the inmates. And you know, hopefully it left an impact on people for now and for eternity, for then, and it'll always be something special, I think, for me. And then when I moved to LA, I didn't do that anymore. That was when I lived in Minnesota. Then I joined I was always like serving in the church, helping in the nursery or with the youth. And then I did like a street ministry, and we would go and just go give love to we go out like at midnight, 2 in the morning. We just go give love to the prostitutes and the kids coming out of the clubs, and just trying to hug on people and share the love of God with them, really.
There you go. There you go, indeed. That's right, indeed. So, my goodness, so any lessons that stuck with you from those days when it's, I guess, from jail ministry to early LA?
Well, I think in any type of ministry you do, I think having it be like a non-judgment zone, you know? Everybody's coming from somewhere and they've been through something, and the way they are now is based on a whole set of series of circumstances we know nothing about. So, whenever you go into something, you can't come from the point of view that you know better, you would do better, you would have made different choices because you haven't walked a mile in that person's shoes. So I think really just coming in with love is is a lesson. Yeah, on the honesty side. On the other side, if I just want to be silly, I've learned not to wear skirts that are too short to the jail. Don't do that. I got pulled aside by this sheriff one time. He said, "Ma'am, these guys are only coming to the church service to see you in that skirt." I had no idea. So, and also when you're going to hug people on the streets, make sure they don't have needles in their hands. That's another scary lesson we had to learn along the way. So, there's the good side, and then there's the kind of watch out side.
Uh, well, I guess doing some early marketing tactics, I guess.
Something. Something. Who knew? I didn't know. I didn't know any better. Oh.
Yeah, well, you didn't know at the time and probably still going through some self discovery at the time, too, I imagine.
Yeah, that was my 20s. What can we say about our 20s? Not much. Not much that's good on my end anyway.
Hey, you turned out all right. So my,
I
what I
I
can see
turned
on
out
the
okay.
outside.
I turned out okay. I lived to tell about all of it. And I learned a lot. As long as we're learning, we're not failing, right?
Thank you, indeed. So when did you discover your wonderful gift for poetry?
Oh my gosh. So, discovering a wonderful gift and discovering poetry are kind of two different things. I discovered poetry as a teenager, and there was this one poem, I think it was eighth grade, that I heard was called Elizabeth Blackwell by Eve Merriam. And it was a true story about the first female doctor and all the challenges she had to overcome and face in a society that thought only men should be doctors. I loved the storytelling. I loved the sounds of, there's this one section of the poem when it's talking about all the rejection she was facing and all the people talking behind her back. And it went hibble, hobble, bibble, bottle, whittle, waddle, wag, twist, twist, twit, twit, flip, flap, flutter, mitter, matter, mutter, moan, groan, wail, and rail, indecorous, revolting, a scandalous sin. Their voices pierced the air like a jabbing hat pin. But little Miss Elizabeth wouldn't give in. And that section just like, I was like, I don't know what this is, but I have to do this. And then I just started writing poetry as a teenager. I didn't think I was any good or even know that I should do anything with my poetry till I was in my probably mid 20s, late 20s, when I finally got a couple poetry mentors, and they were like, you should share this. And I'd never considered putting it out in the world for other people to see. But now I have 4 poetry books out. And I just finished writing another one, which will be out in 2024, which is all about Hollywood and the different people I've met and different situations I've been in and people in Hollywood. So that's going to be a really fun and interesting one. And a departure from my first 3 books of poetry are all faith-based poems. I tend to write quirky, motivational poetry for a punch with a punch for Jesus freaks, spiritual snobs, believers bustling to be better, and hypocrites hankering to be holy. But this new one about Hollywood has nothing to do with God, because you don't see a lot of that in Hollywood. I'll tell you that much. Not from the experiences I've had out here, that's for sure.
Ah, there we go. So is it with some stories coming out to the public about Hollywood that inspired this change in direction for the next poetry book or the upcoming poetry book about Hollywood?
Ah, there's is there's some true stories, and there's some stories from people I know, people I've read about. It's all the different kinds of people you'll meet in Hollywood, the different kinds of characters. Kind of, I don't, my tentative title is Hullabaloo, Hollywood snapshots of the haves and have-nots. So I've got poems anywhere from celebrities to homeless people to wannabes to pole dancers to you name it, even some taboo topics. So, yeah. How
So black licorice then.
did you know? You're so intuitive. So intuitive. That wouldn't be allowed. They only allow red vines on the Hollywood sets.
Good. All right. That's what I'm talking about. That's not a true thing, is it?
It is a true thing. You're only allowed to have red vines. I swear.
Wait, that's actually true.
That's a real Hollywood thing. If you go to the movie sets, you will find red vines and red vines only. You won't find Twizzlers. No,
Oh,
only red vines. That's a thing.
huh. Wow. Okay.
You
It is to me. And I was just pulling something out of my head.
were. You were.
We heard that right, folks. If you want to get kicked out of a studio fast, bring black licorice with you. That's right,
That's right.
indeed. Do they sacrifice you to the devil if you bring candy corn? Let me stop.
I mean, I'm sure they would do it for lesser offenses.
Oh, damn.
It's
Ouch.
yeah, yeah. So there's a lot going on behind closed doors out here.
Oh, you're there, right, folks. Avoid the candy corn and the black licorice. That's right.
That's right.
That's right, indeed. Avoid it like the plague, the real plague.
Hmm.
Before you turn into a frog and then the frog appears next to your foot. That's right. What else I'm talking about? This I'm talking about indeed. So, my goodness, so anything else you got big playing for 2024? Since you got that big poetry book coming out, anything else you got planned?
Oh, well, I released a book in May called You Are Worthy, and it became an Amazon bestseller in 7 categories. And I'm very proud of it. It's the first book I wrote where I wasn't rhyming all the time. The first book with actual real sentences. But it was very impactful in the lessons I had to learn to be able to write that book. Because I think most people have some sort of a sense of not being enough. Everybody I talk to, they're like, oh, I'm not this enough. I'm not that enough. I'm not thin enough. I'm not rich enough. I don't have muscles enough. I don't have education enough. There's always some part where people have the not enoughness. And so my book, You Are Worthy, is really kind of an answer to knowing that that you have everything it takes within you, that you don't have to sacrifice your dreams and just spend your life building other people's dreams, working for other people. It's really the answer on how to stop doing that so you can step into your calling and live your purpose with confidence. And it really shatters a lot of misconceptions we think about who we are and what our value is and what it's based on. And I really show people how to see themselves the way God does so that they have the courage and the confidence to go after their dreams. It's really for anyone who's thought, is there something more out there? Am I meant for something greater? Do I have what it takes? And of course, the answer is yes. And you want to get to the bottom of finding out what it is that's standing in the way. What is the sabotage that you're doing that you maybe not even know about? We have these little things where we go, oh, I'm not sabotaging myself. I'm just shy, or I just don't like crowds, or I'm being humble. I just don't want to put myself out there. When the truth is, a lot of times we peel back those layers, and it has a lot to do with not feeling worthy, not feeling like you are worthy, which I cover in my book, and the fear of failure and the fear of what other people will think. So I really delved into that, and I even created an online course called You Are Worthy that goes even deeper on that topic. And it's one thing that I feel like if everyone knew their worth and their value, this world would be a much better place, because everyone who had a calling, who had a deep desire, whether it's to do painting or have a passion or start a 501(c)(3) or help homeless veterans or whatever it is, they would know their worth, feel like they were enough, and they would go out and do that thing that's been nagging at them, that they put on the back burner. They say maybe later, not now, because there's this whole fear of what will happen if it doesn't work out? What will people think of me? If you knew your worth, all that would be put aside, and you would just be running your race, going after your thing. I love this quote I saw the other day. I was at Pieology, and they have walls full of quotes at this pizza place. And the quote, I don't remember who it was from, it said, if you fall on your face, at least you're still moving forward. I was like, yes. I don't know if that was the exact quote, but I was like, yes, we can't be afraid to fall down, knowing we can get back up again and keep moving forward. And to be honest, the only people who would be laughing at you and pointing at you if you fall are the people sitting on the sidelines, the people in the bleachers. They're not even out on the field running the race. So we need to like not even listen to them. We need to put our earphones on, like you've got on, noise canceling headphones, and not listen to the chatter from the armchair quarterbacks that want to tell you Monday morning how you could have done your play better.
Yep, that's right indeed. That's right indeed. That's why the armchair quarterbacks have comfy chairs usually. That's right indeed. Comfier the chair, the weaker the body, depending,
Yeah, the
because they're
comfier
not
the
doing the
chair,
work.
the more opinionated you are. That's why I'm just sitting on a thistle right now. Just to be on, so I can get up and do something, right?
That's what I'm talking about. So my goodness, since you're a faith-based coach and you got that wonderful book course combo out there too, you are worthy enough for folks to realize, hey, you're not mud out here. It's like, hey, you're freaking awesome. You're a bright freaking diamond, darn it. Like, what would you
Yeah.
consider your biggest lesson learned from one of your coaching clients that makes you a better coach?
Biggest lesson for my coaching clients makes me a better coach. I think really it has a lot to do with being able to balance the amount of encouragement you give them to the amount of ouchies you have to give them. Sometimes you got to give them some ouchies, and you got to like stun them out of their complacency. Because if it's just rah, rah, you're awesome, you can do it, you're worthy, you got this, it can lull them into a place of like, oh, I'm almost like I'm good. I don't have to do anything. And it's true, it's like our relationship with God. Once, you know, we accept God, we're good. We're going to heaven. We said yes, we're covered. We don't technically have to do a single thing to get into heaven at that point, right? Because salvation is a free gift. But we do more because we do it out of love. We just love to help, to let others see the light, to do whatever. Well, it's kind of the same. I have to get them to the place where like, oh, I gotta, finally I love myself. Finally, I've listened to the encouragement. Finally, I know I'm enough. And sometimes they want to coast. They want to get in that comfy chair of love. Same thing. I got to stick a little thistle under them and poke them every now and then and say, but we're not done. Now that we know who we are, now that we accept ourselves as we are, let's run our race and let's win this race, because you're not here for no reason. You're not here as an accident. You're here to make a difference in this time and in this space with the gifts that you've been given. So get on it.
There you go. Get on it, y'all. That's right indeed. Don't have to get down on it. Just get on it. That's right indeed. Get that forward motion, y'all. That's right indeed. Ain't nothing wrong with little ouchies every now and then, as long as it's not a whole cactus you're sitting on at once,
Yeah,
metaphorically.
yeah, and some people are that crack the whip kind of coach where they're just barking at you. Maybe some people have flashbacks to gym class where they're yelling, "Ah, go you little wimp, you wussy, keep going." I never found that very helpful. So I'm more of the cheerleader, but every now and then I got to rip your band-aid off and expose your wounds to the light so it can heal.
So the pom poms turn into balls of spikes. Gotcha.
Thistles. We're not pulling out the cat o' nine tails. We're not doing that. Come on now. Not torture. We just, it's like a mama bird. When the mama bird's trying to teach their baby bird to fly, and the baby bird is like some of these Gen Zers who don't want to leave the nest. You notice how I didn't say millennials? Uh, they take away the cushion, they take away the soft stuff, and they put pokey sticks in there so it gets uncomfortable for the bird. We have to do that sometimes to challenge each other to the next level, to challenge each other to success, because your greatness, your calling is not found in your comfort zone.
That's what I'm talking about, indeed. So, my goodness, speaking of getting out your comfort zone, since you're raised in the church, when do you feel that your faith became real for you?
It became real when I was 22. I accepted the Lord in my heart when I was 9, but then I didn't really know what it was like to live it out. Didn't really understand the scriptures or read them too much. I just went to church and it was kind of like a Sunday Christian thing, and then lived like hell Monday through Saturday. Um, Sometimes by Sunday afternoon. um, so it really took some intervention in my life because I was going down not a good path. I was hanging out with people who were not into good things, and we were doing things and breaking the law in more ways than one. And it took me, God had to reel me back in and make himself real to me. I was working at a donut shop. I was newlywed, and this guy that used to drive the bus to my trailer court every Sunday morning when I was a kid, and he'd come pick up all the kids from the trailer court and drive us in a bus to church. He came into my donut shop one day when I was all grown up, and he's like, "You should go to that women's retreat at church." And I was like, no, I'm not doing that. And then somehow my parents, I went to church with them that week. I think I had stopped for a while, but I went, and somebody came up to me, some lady at church came to me, "You need to go to that women's retreat next week." I was like, "No, I don't have the money for that. I'm not going to that." And then this third person came up to me, said, "You need to go to that women's retreat." And before I could object, she said, "And I bought your ticket." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And then I went, and I don't remember any speaker. I don't remember anything anybody said, but I remember this woman on the worship team, and she was crying, and she's singing and crying and crying. I was like, crying and singing, and then she's speaking some language. I don't even know what she's saying, but she's crying and singing and speaking some weird language. I was like, I don't know what any of that is. I don't know why I'm here. And then, as luck would have it, I didn't have a ride home. So my Sunday school teacher offered to give me a ride home. And so I was like, "So what's with these people doing this weird stuff? Why was she crying all the time? Like, what is up with that?" I just had all these questions. And so she came to my apartment and she started telling me all about it. And after she explained it to me, I was like, "You know what? I kind of want that. I feel really empty inside. I've been just like drinking alcohol, trying to drown my problems, and it wasn't really working for me." And then I got filled with the Holy Spirit, and I just felt like the blinders had come off my eyes, and I could finally see for the first time, like I felt like I had been walking in a daze or a haze my whole life, and now I could finally see. I stopped drinking alcohol that day, have never had alcohol since, and I quit my job at the bar waitressing. I just did a complete upside down shift turnaround. That's when I started doing the prison ministry and all that kind of stuff, and it's been such a joy since then to have my walk with the Lord and be happy all the time, even when bad stuff is happening, to have joy that is not based on my circumstances, but just knowing that God is good, and whatever attacks come against me, whatever evil comes against me, God is going to turn it around for my good and make everything, you know, think of it like this. Even when people are slinging dung at you, that's pretty good fertilizer. You grow during those times. And I got a lot flung on me. And so I grew and I blossomed and I bloomed. And I can't hate on those flinging the fertilizer, because that helped me grow into who I am today.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about indeed. So my goodness, so I guess there was a gap in between, I guess, high school and the Bible college then.
There was a little bit of a gap. There's a little bit of a gap. I was going to Bible college, and when I'd be having my prayer time, it felt like God was whispering to me to move to Hollywood and become an actor. And I thought, that cannot be God. I must not be hearing the right voice. That's got to be the devil. Because you think, oh, Hollywood, that's that place of sin and evil and debauchery. And you think, oh, nothing holy happens in Hollywood. But I could not ignore that voice. It kept coming to me, and I thought, how could this even be true? I never even did a play in high school. But I followed that voice, and now I've been in Hollywood 23 years, and it's been incredible. Not without pain, not without tears, but I can still say it's been incredible.
Heck yeah, indeed. Heck yeah, indeed. That's what I'm talking about indeed. Because, yeah, funny enough, if I'm not mistaken, I guess the most recent movie that's public, at least at the time of this recording, I believe it was the Christmas movie where you were the hotel manager, right?
Yes, that is out right now. It's actually been trending the last 3 days, so that's really cool. It's called Bringing Back Christmas, and such a beautiful movie, such a cool story, and it's a comedy. It's a Christmas comedy, and it's got a modern day story following a guy who's been, down in his luck, and he gets hit hard, and an angel appears and kind of takes him back and shows him some other people who've had some hard knocks in life. So yes, it was a beautiful movie, fun scene. Dean Cain is actually in it. I don't know if you ever saw Lois and Clark. He played Superman. He has a nice role in that movie. So it's called Bringing Back Christmas, and it's out now on Amazon and Tubi and YouTube and Apple TV and lots of other places. So if you want to find out more, you can go to bringingbackchristmasmovie.com.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about indeed. So my goodness, so what about your acting life has helped you to live out more authentically?
Mm. Well, there's a misconception about acting. And the misconception for those who don't know about acting is that you're faking it. And you're making it up and you're playing make believe and you're faking it. But when you watch a movie and an actor's just faking it, you don't buy it. You're like, oh, this actor's so bad. The thing about acting, especially on camera, you can fool a lot of people on the stage and not have real, genuine emotions, because you can be like, ah! You can tear at your clothes and like, I'm angry. So you can fool some people on stage, but the camera doesn't lie. And when you have a camera this close to you, it's looking into your soul. So if you are not telling the truth and you are not being authentic, the camera will pick that up. So you have to be your most authentic self ever. when you're on camera.
Ah, you'll love to see it indeed. 'Cause, yeah, it's so right. You can definitely feel it indeed. It's like you really got to embody what you truly want to embody when it comes to the character. Definitely indeed, because the cameras don't lie.
Yeah, and
They can add
sometimes
filters.
so true. And sometimes when you're over rehearsed, some people like to rehearse, 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 and they like when I was an actor early on, I was taught, oh, right by each line, the different emotion. And you think, oh, I'm going to be doing good acting because on this line I'm going to have pain, and on this line I'm going to have heartache, and on this line I'm going to have, but that's not authentic either. Yeah, you might be able to show that you can paint with all different colors and you can do all these different emotions and switch back and forth. But if you have decided in advance how you're going to act, then that's not being authentic either. Because when you're in the scene with someone, they may do something totally unexpected. And if you go, oh, I'm going to be appalled on that line, but they just did something that's funny, you have to react to what they actually did. So you your line may say, I hate you, get out of the house, but you may go, you may laugh and be like, I hate you, get out of the house. That's going to be a very different reaction. So you can't be afraid. I think it goes, I feel like it's all tied in. It goes hand in hand with my book, You Are Worthy, because sometimes knowing your worth means you also know your vulnerabilities and you're okay with it. Like when you don't know your worth and you're so afraid of what people think of you don't want to point out your flaws. You don't want to tell people, I got this big zit here, I've got my top of my jeans unbuttoned right now because I got this muffin top from eating too many cookies on Christmas. Like you feel like you can't even be your authentic self or share because you're like, oh, people are going to judge me, this and that. And when you know your worth, you're like, I don't care. Hey, look, I got a jelly roll right now. I got this big pimple. You don't care. You let people see all the different parts of you. And I think that's one thing that's missing in a lot of even self-help gurus, motivational speakers, who, it doesn't matter who it is, preachers, they want to come across as if they've got it all together and because of God my life is perfect. And I think it's not realistic. And I remember I used to go to this church for a number of years when I first moved to Hollywood, and the pastor's wife she just seemed so perfect. She just had everything together. And I just thought, I could never attain to that level. I could never be like she's like this. Like, I've got so many faults. I've got so many failures. There's no way I could ever be that. And then one day she got real with us. One day she did the sermon. She talked about how angry she was with her husband, the pastor. He was supposed to watch their kid and she needed some alone time, and their kid was just off the wall crazy. And he's like, oh, bye, I'm going golfing. And she talked about how she flipped him off, and then she was so angry she double flipped him off. She gave him two birds, and she's saying all this, and I am just in my seat laughing. I was like, finally, finally, she's a real person with real emotions. If she can be a pastor's wife, maybe I can do this Christian thing, because I got way worse faults than flipping a pastor off. So, you know, the Bible calls us earthen vessels. In some translation, it calls us jars of clay. And sometimes we think we have to be pristine and totally gorgeous. But when we have cracks in our jar, when we're messed up, when we've got issues and we've got problems, and we don't try to hide them, when we share authentically about our issues, it allows God to shine through all of those cracks. And it allows others to see, hey, you know what, if this person can be happy or reach this level of success or have this going for them, and they got all these things wrong with them, then maybe it's possible for me. Because I don't know about you, when you watch movies, you're rooting for the underdog, right? You're not rooting for the person that's got it all together. Usually they're the arch nemesis. You're rooting for the little guy who's like got everything against him. So sometimes we think we to put on this air of success, we have to pretend like the Instagram thing. Like everyone on Instagram has the perfect life and they take all the perfect photos. And then we don't realize after the photo, they're like, get yelling at each other, screaming. They take off their Spanx and it all bubbles out. And they like, we don't get to see the true colors because it's only a snapshot of the best moments of someone's life. So I think the more authentic you can be, and like that's why on my YouTube channel, Katherine Norland, I make little advice videos, self-help videos, coaching people. Often I will like not have any makeup on. Sometimes I haven't even combed my hair. I know there's a couple videos I had like blueberries stuck in my teeth. I still put them out. I still put them out because I'm like, you know what? This could help someone. I'm not going to brush my teeth and redo it. Sorry. I'm just being real, and I think a lot of the realness is missing in the world of photoshopped images.
Yeah, amen to that. That's right, indeed. Because it's a lot out there. A lot of veneers out there. That's right, indeed. And
Mm-hmm.
not just on the teeth either.
No.
So, any words of encouragement for folks looking to write their magical books? Because I hear, especially your first book, I hear that was one heck of an ordeal. It's like you went through the valley, hell, back, and then they drop kicked you into hell metaphorically and to come back out of there.
If you have a book inside you, which I think most people do, you can't let other people's opinions stop you. So there's a whole lot to unpack with that. But like, there are people who, well meaning people that, I've had people tell me, you can't write, you can't even form a sentence. Like, da, 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 everything that got me to like not want to do it. And then once I kept knowing that I had this story to tell and I had so much to say, I had to not listen to the negative people, but at the same time, listen to them. So, what I mean by that is not let the criticism stop you, but take it in a constructive way. Don't let it mean anything about you. Don't let it pass a judgment on you, but take it in the sense that, you know what? They say I can't even form a sentence, which might be true, but I still have a story to tell and I need to tell it. It's burning inside me to tell. So you get a good editor. And so when I finished You Are Worthy, I was so used to writing poetry and like there's no rules in poetry. Like you can just string some words together and call it a poem. So when I went to put out my first book, I went to put it out last year. And then I had some beta readers, and one of them was kind enough to tell me, I'm not quite sure what you're trying to say on some of these lines because I think some aren't really sentences. But coming from a place of writing poetry where anything goes, I was like, oh yeah, with regular sentences, you have to have structure and you have to know exactly where to put the comma. So, I had to not just hire the editor who put the commas in the right place, but I had to hire an editor that went to fix my sentence structure. And sure enough, turns out I had like over 100 sentences that weren't technically really sentences. I knew what I was saying, and my friends who read it knew what I was saying because they know how I speak, but I had to do a little bit of an overhaul in the sentence structure. So if I had listened to people and not written, that would be bad because I went to put my story out. But at the same time, if I just put it out and didn't listen, it would have been bad because I wouldn't have delivered the message in a way that people could really understand it and absorb it. So listen, but don't listen. That's a weird answer when you're writing your books. Listen to them, but don't listen to them. So maybe don't make it a value judgment on you and your worth, but see if you can pull something out of it that might be you know, constructive that can help you improve. I had a friend recently and she's got master's degrees in writing and she's like she we got in this argument the other day. She's like, "You're putting out another book? You don't even know this and you don't know that and you don't know the difference between commas and semicolons." And I was like, "But the editor knows. Like, do I
Yeah,
have to learn
exactly.
that?" And so she's like, she got mad at me one day and she was like, went off in a huff. She's like, "You don't even know what cardinal numbers are." I said, I've never even heard of cardinal numbers. Is that a thing? Are you making that up? Is this a Catholic thing? Cardinal numbers? I don't know. And so that was months ago. I still haven't even looked that up to see if that was a legitimate thing. But she was very upset. She's like, you better not write another book until you learn grammar. So she sent me this course on grammar and I bought it, but I have not cracked it open, Dom, and I don't know if I ever will. And I just finished that Hollywood book and I'm writing part two of You Are Worthy called So I'm Worthy, Now What? Which is the practical guide of living it out. So I'm going to write him, but don't tell her that I haven't gone through her course yet. Because you know what? Some things you don't like. If you have a desire and you want to learn it and you're like, this is going to make my craft, it's going to make, go for it, learn it. But there's so many people that can help us in our day and age that you don't want to let somebody's criticism or critique stop you from moving forward. It's like when I go to make a movie, I don't have to learn how to edit. I don't have to know how to do the lighting. I don't have to figure out how the camera works. I hire people to do all that. And then I write the script. Maybe I produce it. Maybe I even act in it. But I don't have to know every single thing that goes into it. I have somebody do the grammar. I have somebody fix my sentence structure. I have somebody format the book. So we don't have to do everything. So don't be afraid when you're putting your book out to get the extra help you need. You are worthy of it.
Woohoo! You are worthy indeed. You're that right, folks. It's the power of teamwork. They say it takes a
Yeah.
village, y'all. It ain't
Yeah,
just with children, but it's with books too.
indeed. And if your books are any good, they'll go on living long past your children. So, right? You never know. There's many authors we're still reading today. So take that time, take that care, and get that village. You're worth it, and your message is worth it.
Get that village because you are worth it.
Hmm.
That's a Cathyism.
There you go. I've got a lot of them.
There you go. That might be a future book, The Cathyisms. All of Catherine's special sayings. That's right, indeed. Captured in one little mighty powerful tome, read by herself so you can get her voice in your mind and she can metaphorically hypnotize you. And then you'll be thinking about strawberries for no reason and red
Ah,
vines.
yes, absolutely.
Well, two more questions. I'll let you make a run for it. So, fun question for you. If your fabulous book, I guess version one, in this case is part two, is coming out later this year, when folks are hearing this, so your fabulous book, You Are Worthy. Stop building other people's dreams and sabotaging your own so you can step into your calling and live your purpose with confidence. If that book were a food, what would it
Yeah.
be and why?
Mm. Oh boy. If it were a food, it would be, oh gosh, this is the hardest question I have ever been asked. Oh man, it would be a pineapple. It would be a pineapple because you know what? A pineapple looks rough around the edges. It looks brown, hurts your hands to hold it sometimes. It's like got stuff growing out of it, green shoots, and it's prickly. But when you cut it open, it's sweet and it's golden and it's juicy and it's filled with savory, sweet nuggets that will nourish you.
There you go. Pineapple swag, y'all. And it's got a crown, y'all.
And it's got a crown that's a pineapple topping. It's a pineapple top.
Who needs a carrot top when you got a pineapple top?
That's right. The only way to go. Go pineapple or go home.
There you go. Fun enough, you're the second guest on this podcast who actually referred to the book as a pineapple. That's right, indeed.
Hey, sweet. I
right,
guess
indeed. I
I'm
guess pun
second
intended.
place too, just like you.
Funny enough, she's similar to you. She's a faith-based Christian entrepreneur and has a few books out there as well, all about coaching folks, especially faith-based folks and everything like that. So yeah,
Amazing.
yeah,
That's
that's right
cool.
indeed. Yeah, that's right indeed. Cooler than two cucumbers. Well, we're coming down to the magical question that every guest gets to receive, and that is if you're to
Ooh.
wake up tomorrow and you were 25 again, but you're still in the current year, what advice would you give to yourself?
Hmm. Not to major in the minors, not to make such a big deal out of things that aren't going to matter, to do what you love, regardless of what other people think, to follow your bliss, to follow what brings you joy, even if others don't get it, don't understand it, tell you you'd never work, tell you it's not going to make money, to follow where the joy is, to be inspired by divinely energized actions that get you excited, and not worry about where the chips may fall, because God's got it all under control.
Woohoo! That's right indeed. God's got it all under control, y'all. That's right indeed. That's right indeed. If there's poker or potatoes, it doesn't matter. Let the chips fall, y'all. That's right indeed.
And fall.
That's right.
It's
Or
always a
corn.
5 second rule. It's always a 5 second rule. We don't have to worry about those chips.
Because you'll be feeling chipper.
Right. You just let it go, let it be, set it free.
That's right indeed. Let it free and let it go, y'all. That's right indeed. Just like a certain little snowman. That's right indeed. I want you to help you build another one.
There you go.
Oh man. Well, before another random reference to building snowmen and random pineapples trying to cosplay as a camel, folks need to keep up with you and all the stuff that you're doing because folks only got a taste of, I'd say, a good 2% of what the Special K has to offer. So, for those who need to dive in the other 98%, what's the best way for folks to do so, as well as cop some copies of your magical books?
Aw. I want to give your guests some access to some free videos I made from the You Are Worthy course. So if they go to free gift from coachcat.com, that's with a K, cat with a K, free gift from coachcat.com, you'll get access to 3 of the videos that are in my You Are Worthy course. And if they want to find me online, I am on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube under Katherine Norland. And if you're on TikTok, I'm on Cat Norland, because a fan stole my name before I could get it on there. They're posing as me.
Oh,
So Cat Norland on TikTok, but Katherine Norland on all the other ones. And then free gift from coachcat.com will give you access to 3 free training videos out of my online course.
woohoo! Well, there you have it, folks. Meows all day. You heard it from Coach Meow herself, y'all. We're going to put a link to Catherine's wonderful things in the show notes. That way you can realize that you are worthy indeed. That's right, indeed. You are worthy with a capital W. So you'll be racking up all the W's from that self worth feeling, y'all. That's right, indeed. That's right, indeed. Heck, you can even put on a cat suit if you want to, and then meow
Hey,
your neighbor. That's right, indeed. And if they ask you, why the heck are you looking like a giant Garfield? And it's because I'm worthy. Coach Cat said I'm worthy.
that's right.
Meow.
I did say follow your bliss. So if it's a cat suit for you, hey.
That's right, indeed. Just make sure pineapple's like next to the lasagna.
Mhm.
Well, before Random Dog jumps on the table to join the party, any parting words before we close up shop, Catherine?
Yes, always parting words. You are enough. You are worthy. You are chosen. You are here for a reason. Whatever has happened before today, let it go. Take what you need to take from it, but let the rest go. Don't carry into tomorrow the things that have hurt you and weighed you down for today. Learn, take from it what you need, but let the rest go. You're too precious and too valuable to have your back broken by burdens you are not meant to bear. And forgive who you need to forgive, even if that's yourself. There's no better feeling than to be free. And that freedom can only come when you just let it all go, be who you are, be who you were designed to be, say yes to Jesus. But even if that's not a path you're going to choose, let all the burdens go. You don't have to get revenge. You don't have to get even. You just have to let it go. And when you do that, you'll be lighter and the days will be brighter.
If you're hearing this part of the episode, that means you're one cool individual. Thanks a bunch for tuning in, and if you enjoyed what you heard, be sure to share it with at least one other person in your network. Bonus points for 3. And be sure to check out the backlog too while you're at it, because there are hundreds of wonderful episodes to choose from as well.